The exclusivity era is over. This week, the walls between the world's most powerful LLM and the world's largest cloud provider finally came down. I'm talking about GPT 5.5, OpenAI's frontier flagship, now running natively on Amazon Bedrock. This isn't just another model update, it's a fundamental shift in the AI power structure. For years, Microsoft held the keys to the kingdom, but as of May 4th, the enterprise AI landscape has been permanently redrawn. Let's dive in. Welcome back. I'm your host, and today we are dissecting every major move from AWS and Amazon Bedrock between May 3rd and May 9th, 2026. This was a week defined by sheer scale and strategic pivot. From the launch of GPT 5.5 to the new AgentCore payment system and Andy Jassy's massive infrastructure gamble, we are seeing Amazon move from being a provider of raw compute to the orchestrator of an autonomous agent economy. We have a lot to cover: models, research papers, leadership changes, and a global infrastructure rollout that is staggering in its ambition. We'll look at the technical papers from Research Day and the financial momentum driving AWS's fastest growth in 15 quarters. This is your definitive 30-minute briefing on the week AWS became agentic. Here is your agenda. We'll start with the explosive model drops on Bedrock, move through the co-scientist research breakthroughs, and end with a deep analysis of what this means for the future of enterprise software. Chapter 1: Model and Product Releases. Let's start with the big one: the expansion of the AWS OpenAI partnership. Following a high-stakes renegotiation that ended Microsoft's exclusive hosting rights on April 27th, AWS moved with lightning speed. As of early May, AWS launched GPT 5.5, OpenAI's latest flagship, and GPT 5.4 on Amazon Bedrock. This isn't just a basic deployment. These models are fully integrated into the Bedrock ecosystem. This means enterprises can now access OpenAI's frontier tech using the exact same IAM roles, security protocols, and VPC configurations they already use for Anthropic IC and LAHMAC. This is about removing friction. You no longer need to manage multiple cloud billing accounts or deal with cross-cloud latency. It's all native. The stability of 5.4 is targeted at conservative enterprise workloads, while 5.5 is for those pushing the boundaries of reasoning. Early benchmarks on Bedrock show a 15% reduction in latency compared to previous cloud-to-cloud implementations. It is about data sovereignty and speed. Your data never leaves the AWS environment, and your models run next to your databases. But the surprise of the week was the release of two open-weight models, GPT OSS 20B and the massive 120B version. By hosting these on Bedrock, AWS is providing a playground for researchers and developers who need to fine-tune and inspect model weights for safety and compliance. The GPT OSS 120B model is particularly significant as it rivals GPT-4 in reasoning benchmarks while remaining open for modification. This move signals OpenAI's shift toward a more transparent research-led approach, and AWS is the primary beneficiary of that shift. We're also seeing new specialized adapters for Bedrock that allow for even faster switching between these models within a single application workflow. This level of flexibility is unprecedented. You can use 5.5 for the heavy lifting and GPT OSS 20B for faster, more frequent subtasks, all managed through the same Bedrock API. This is the unification of the AI developer experience. Next up is Codex on Bedrock. OpenAI's coding agent is now a first-class citizen in the AWS ecosystem. This allows developers to authenticate with their existing AWS credentials and, crucially, apply their Codex usage toward their existing AWS cloud spend commitments. But the real strategic move is Bedrock Managed Agents. This is a managed runtime that combines OpenAI's agent harness with Bedrock's infrastructure. It handles memory, skills, and identity for autonomous agents, allowing teams to move from prototype to production in a fraction of the time. It is an opinionated stack that takes the guesswork out of agent orchestration. Managed agents can now handle complex, multi-step tasks like inventory reconciliation or multi-party scheduling with far higher reliability than previous unmanaged approaches. By providing a managed layer for state and memory, AWS is solving the primary pain point of agentic developers: persistence. Your agents can now remember tasks across sessions and maintain a consistent personality and skill set. On the developer side, SageMaker AI received a major update with support for MLflow v3.10. This version introduces agent-guided workflows to accelerate model customization, specifically around supervised fine-tuning and direct preference optimization. Imagine an agent that looks at your dataset, suggests the optimal hyperparameters for DPO, and then manages the entire training job autonomously. This level of automation is what AWS is calling the agentic developer experience. It's about letting the models help build the models. We're also seeing new specialized adapters for Bedrock that allow for even faster switching between different OpenAI and Anthropic variants. Furthermore, AWS announced Bedrock Guardrails for Agents, which provides real-time PII redaction and toxicity filtering directly within the agentic loop. This ensures that your agents don't just work, they work safely and within the bounds of your corporate policy. AWS has officially unified the enterprise cloud with OpenAI's frontier models and agentic runtimes. Chapter 2: Research and Technical Papers. While the product side was busy with Bedrock, the science teams were showcasing the long-term vision at Amazon Research Day. The recurring theme: AI co-scientists. This isn't about a chatbot that writes emails. It's about frameworks where agents act as hypothesis generation partners for human researchers. Amazon's researchers presented data showing that these co-scientist agents can explore a design space 50 times faster than human-only teams. They specifically highlighted applications in materials science and drug discovery, where the agent proposes thousands of molecular structures, and the human researcher validates the most promising 5%. This represents a fundamental shift in the scientific method. AI is moving from a tool to a collaborator. The paper also details how these agents use RAG to ingest the latest academic literature, ensuring their hypotheses are grounded in current facts. It is a vision of a future where every scientist has a digital partner that has read every paper ever published in their field. One paper that caught my eye focused on reinforcement learning with verifiable rewards, or RLVR. As agents become more autonomous, the biggest challenge is trust. RLVR is a strategy to ensure that as agents explore complex environments, their actions remain traceable and aligned with specific, verifiable goals. It uses a secondary verifier model to check every action against a set of hard-coded enterprise policies before the reward signal is issued. This prevents reward hacking, where an agent finds a shortcut that meets the goal but violates the spirit of the task. This is critical for industrial applications where a correct result that causes a safety violation is a failure. They also detailed breakthroughs in efficient multimodal AI, reducing the compute cost of processing video and audio by nearly 30%. This is critical for the next generation of agents that need to see and hear the world. The research team also introduced a new MOE architecture that optimizes for inference speed on AWS Inferentia chips, making these multimodal agents viable for real-time edge applications. Then there are the Spring 2026 Amazon Research Awards. The submission window just closed, with a heavy emphasis on agentic AI and AI for information security. Amazon is pouring millions into the academic community, offering selected PIs up to $70,000 in unrestricted funds and $50,000 in AWS credits. They are particularly interested in papers that address agent safety, how to build agents that are robust against adversarial attacks in the real world. Robotics also saw a significant surge in funding, with Amazon looking for new ways to integrate large vision language models into their warehouse automation. This science isn't just academic, it's the blueprint for the next 5 years of the AWS product roadmap. By funding external research, Amazon is effectively outsourcing the most difficult theoretical work of agent alignment. They are building a moat of intellectual property and academic goodwill that will be hard for competitors to match. We're also seeing new research into federated agentic learning, allowing agents to learn from each other without sharing raw data. Finally, let's talk about knowledge graph integration for agents. A new technical paper released this week describes how Bedrock agents can now navigate and query enterprise knowledge graphs natively. This is a huge leap forward from simple vector search. It allows agents to understand the relationships between different data points, like how a specific product relates to a supplier, a shipment, and a customer complaint. This relational understanding is what makes an agent truly intelligent in a business context. Instead of just finding a document, the agent can now answer questions like, which of our Tier 2 suppliers are affected by the recent storm in Taiwan? It is about moving from retrieval to reasoning. Amazon is pivoting from simple generative AI toward autonomous, verifiable co-scientists and relationally aware agents. Chapter 3. Business, Funding, and Partnerships. Perhaps the most surprising launch of the week was Amazon Quick. This is a new desktop-based AI assistant designed for personal and enterprise productivity. Unlike traditional chatbots, Quick connects to your local files, calendars, and apps like Slack and Salesforce to take action on your behalf. It is a direct shot at the desktop OS layer. Interestingly, Amazon is offering a plus pricing tier that doesn't even require an AWS account, signaling a major push into the consumer and prosumer markets. Imagine a personal assistant that has access to your entire corporate history and can draft a proposal, schedule the meeting, and file the expense report without you ever leaving the Quick interface. This is the agentic desktop in action. It represents a move away from browser-bound AI toward deeply integrated local intelligence. Early adopters are reporting a 30% reduction in administrative friction, those small, repetitive tasks that eat up the workday. But if agents are going to work for us, they need to be able to pay for things. Enter AgentCore Payments. Developed in partnership with Coinbase and Stripe, this system enables AI agents to execute autonomous transactions using USDC stablecoins. Think about that. An agent can now pay for its own API data feeds, cloud compute, or even online services without manual human intervention. It solves the last-mile problem of agentic autonomy. If an agent needs more data to complete a task, it doesn't need to ask you for a credit card. It can just authorize the payment itself using its allocated AgentCore wallet. This is a massive play for the financial infrastructure of the future AI economy. It turns every agent into an independent economic actor with its own verifiable spending limit and audit trail. We're seeing the first integrations with AWS Marketplace, allowing agents to buy and deploy their own software dependencies on the fly. We also saw the rebranding of Amazon Connect into 4 specialized solutions. Connect Decisions uses 30 years of Amazon operational data to forecast supply chain disruptions. Connect Talent is an AI-led recruiting tool that conducts voice interviews 24/7. Connect Health focuses on clinical documentation and patient verification. And Connect Customer provides omni-channel self-service across voice and SMS. These aren't just platforms, they are agents as a service. AWS is basically giving every industry a specialized AI employee out of the box. This modular approach allows businesses to plug in AI capabilities without needing to build the underlying models themselves. Connect Talent, in particular, is causing a stir in HR circles with its ability to score candidates based on technical reasoning rather than resume keywords. It even provides a detailed reasoning log for every interview, ensuring that hiring decisions are objective and compliant with diversity guidelines. AWS is building the economic and operational layer for the agentic economy. Chapter 4. Leadership and Org Changes. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy isn't blinking in the face of massive costs. In his latest executive statement, He defended an annualized AI capital expenditure of $710 billion across the hyperscalers. His message to investors was clear: when you have shifts this momentous, you bet big. Jassy compares this current AI cycle to the early days of AWS. He notes that high initial capex is a prerequisite for long-term free cash flow dominance. He is betting that the infrastructure of the agentic economy will be just as lucrative as the infrastructure of the cloud was a decade ago. It's a bold stance that emphasizes Amazon's long-term orientation over short-term quarterly margins. Analysts at Goldman Sachs note that while the spending is historic, Amazon's revenue growth suggests the ROI is already beginning to manifest. The market seems to agree, as Amazon's stock price hit an all-time high following the earnings call. Meanwhile, AWS CEO Matt Garman addressed the anxiety around AI and jobs. During a What's Next event, he confirmed Amazon will hire 11,000 software development interns this year, the same level as previous years. His argument is fascinating. He says that while authoring Java snippets may become less valuable, the need for architects who can design complex agentic systems is accelerating. Garman's view is that AI isn't replacing engineers, it's elevating them. The engineer of 2026 isn't a coder, they are a system orchestrator. They spend less time on syntax and more time on logic, safety, and integration. It's a pragmatic take that suggests a shifting rather than shrinking job market. He also noted that Amazon's internal developers are seeing a 40% increase in productivity since the rollout of Codex on Bedrock. This allows them to focus on the high-value problems that require human creativity and strategic thinking. Amazon leadership is trading short-term margins for long-term AI dominance and architectural expertise. Chapter 5: Regional and International Activity. The OpenAI rollout wasn't just a US event. AWS flipped the switch globally, making GPT 5.5 available in every major Bedrock region from Frankfurt to Tokyo on day one. This global availability is crucial for multinational enterprises that need to keep data residency within specific borders while using frontier models. We also saw significant investment in Southeast Asian infrastructure, with new dedicated AI clusters launching in Singapore to meet the exploding demand from the region's tech sector. This isn't just about hardware, it's about making sure the agentic economy has a global footprint from the start. AWS is ensuring that latency doesn't become the bottleneck for international AI adoption. In Tokyo, local enterprises are already using GPT 5.5 for high-precision Japanese language translation and cultural context mapping. The Local Zones initiative has also been expanded to support real-time agentic inference in cities without a full AWS region. To support this global surge, AWS launched Aurora Serverless v4. This version is specifically optimized for the erratic compute demands of agent-based applications. Agents often perform tasks in massive, unpredictable spikes. Aurora v4 scales 45% faster during these spikes and offers a 30% performance improvement overall. It's clear that AWS is hardening its databases to handle a new kind of workload, one that is unpredictable and highly distributed. This agent-native database layer is a key differentiator. It ensures that as agents become more autonomous and more active, the underlying data layer doesn't buckle under the pressure of millions of concurrent queries. v4 also introduces a new agent query cache that predicts common agentic retrieval patterns to further reduce latency. It is a database that learns how your agents talk to it, optimizing itself in real time. We also saw the general availability of the 8th generation EC2 instances, the M8 and R8 families. Powered by 6th gen Intel Xeon processors and AWS Nitro cards, these instances provide up to 600 gigabits per second of network bandwidth. This level of throughput is critical for the high-speed inference required by agentic workflows. AWS also reported a massive acceleration in revenue growth, 28% year-on-year for Q1. This is their fastest growth in 15 quarters, driven largely by customers moving core workloads to the cloud to be closer to their AI data. It's the pull-through effect. AI is the engine, but the cloud is the chassis. The data center expansion in Virginia alone has increased Amazon's power capacity by 500 megawatts this week. They are literally building the power grid of the future. AWS is rapidly hardening its global infrastructure to handle the massive compute and data demands of agentic AI. Chapter 6: Industry Analysis. What does this all mean for the broader industry? We are witnessing the death of the model war and the birth of the orchestration war. AWS is no longer just selling you GPUs or a choice of LLMs. They are selling you a unified, secure, and economic layer where models from OpenAI, Anthropic, and Amazon work together. By integrating OpenAI, they've acknowledged that the best model is a moving target. The value isn't in the model itself, it's in how you orchestrate it. This shift towards multi-model orchestration is what will define the next 2 years of enterprise cloud strategy. Companies are no longer asking, which model should I use, but which orchestration layer will protect my data and scale my agents? Amazon is winning the trust war by providing the most comprehensive security and governance tools in the market. By launching AgentCore and Amazon Quick, AWS has acknowledged that models alone aren't enough. You need actions. The market is moving from generative AI, which creates content, to agentic AI, which completes tasks. Amazon is betting that the winner of the AI era isn't the one with the biggest model, but the one with the stickiest, most capable agentic ecosystem. They are building the plumbing for a world where AI agents are the primary economic and operational actors in a business. It's a world where software is replaced by agents and SaaS is replaced by agentic solutions. This is a fundamental reimagining of what a cloud platform is for. The true test will be if third-party developers adopt AgentCore as the standard for agentic payments. If they do, Amazon will control the financial toll road of the AI economy. We're also seeing the first signs of a managed agent marketplace where companies can buy and sell specialized agents for specific tasks. That is your deep dive for the week of May 3rd, 2026. Amazon has laid its cards on the table. More models, more infrastructure, and a clear path toward autonomous agents. It's a $700 billion bet on the future of work. We've seen the models arrive, the research mature, and the infrastructure harden. Next week, we'll be looking at how Google's GenAI 2.0 update is landing in the enterprise, and if it can challenge this new Bedrock dominance. Will Google's integrated stack prove more attractive than AWS's orchestration layer? We'll also be tracking the first real-world deployments of AgentCore in the fintech sector. Subscribe and stay analytical. I'm your host, and I'll see you in the next deep dive. Stay curious, stay informed. Good night. We'll be back on Monday with a special report on the legal implications of agentic autonomy. See you then.